Live from Las Vegas, it's the 2025 International Design Innovation Awards. Please welcome President of the International Design Innovation Awards, Tom Wuchek.
Welcome, welcome. We're thrilled to see you here. We're thrilled to see you, and we're so excited at this year's presentation of the International Design Innovation Awards. How are you today? Are you feeling good? I got to say, we're really thrilled and really excited by the celebration that we have tonight of some of the world-class innovators and designers who will be accepting awards and breakthroughs of innovation. And so I'd like to say thank you to all of our finalists. I'd like to say thank you to all of our judges. And I'd like to say thank you for all of you who have voted, as those of you who are part of Ideas. It's been an amazing year, hasn't it? It's been an incredible year. We know, of course, that the world is getting warmer. The population has increased now to 9 million people. Isn't that astonishing? Don't you remember when it was a much smaller number? This year, India has a greater population than China. 60% of people living in the world now live in cities. It's an incredible time. Because the world is getting warmer, we know what's happened as a result of this. You know, we're all familiar with the weather events and the sudden changes in climate that we're experiencing, and just a moment to the late Al Gore and that freak accident. But we're not going to talk about the change of waters. We're not going to talk about some of the renewable issues that we're facing. We're going to talk about the implication of design technology. It's an amazing year in technology. We've seen huge advances. We've passed the 100 trillion mark of connected devices on the planet. That's an astonishing number. More devices are connected to more computational power that allows us to understand and create a better, more beautiful, more verdant world. Today, we're now producing an exabyte of information every day. And by the end of the year, that'll grow to 4 exabytes of information. So what the Innovation Awards are about are the harnessing of these new and amazing technologies to tackle the problems that we're now facing more severely than ever in this year. So let's get to it, shall we? Let's get to the Design Innovation Awards. Our first category is advances in computational machinery. And these are important because these are the underlying tools that allow us to do the great work that our designers are now doing to create a better world. Our 3 finalists are, beginning with Brian David Johnson from Deutschco, who's developed a non-deterministic computational architecture. Our second finalist is Vern Brownis of Intel D-Wave for a qubit hybrid computational architecture. And our third finalist is Jeff Turner, who has done the brain modeling completed this year from New Metra. And the winner is, isn't this exciting? The winner is Brian David Johnson from Deutschco. Congratulations.
I don't even get a picture. So I just want to say it is the year 2025. And who gets the first award? The geeks. Now, I got to tell you, I was thinking about this and looking at sort of how they were going through and thinking about doing these awards, and I started thinking about, wait a minute, we're the first ones up. In these award shows, usually the first awards go to, like, best scenery or, like, best dog. So, and then I started thinking, well, wait a minute, and a very learned colleague of mine said, actually, it usually goes to the best supporting actor or actress. And I thought, well, actually, That's kind of what we do. That's sort of my job. And so that's what I'm going to go with. I'm actually going to go and sort of think about, what has it been like, and kind of walking you through the people I really need to kind of thank who kind of brought about this chip, this non-deterministic computational architecture, which I'll tell you a bit about. Now, again, we're starting off with the geeks. So let me tell you, we're going to get real nerdy. So get your nerd on, and we're going to get started. All right, let me get my set. And we'll get everything synced up. Okay. Now, the first person that I need to thank, certainly if you're talking about computation, is Gordon Moore. Right? Looking at the work that he did with Moore's law, right, back in the 1960s, where he said the amount of transistors that you can pack on silicon will increase every 12 to 18 months. And you got to feel kind of good for Gordon, except you also got to feel a little bad, because every year somebody would say, when is it going to die? When is Moore's law going to end? When's it all going to go bad? And you kind of hit this guy who kind of came up with this idea, this amazing idea that brought all these wonderful things to us. Everybody wanted to know that when is Moore's law going to die? And well, as you all know, as we started getting closer and closer to the year 2020, Intel started getting to the point where the size of the computational power was about 7 nanometers, which was about 21 atoms. And so everybody said, this is it. It's the end of Moore's law. But then, as you all know, as we look back to the year 2012, everybody remembers the great breakthrough of 2012 of the silicon doping with qubits. Right? Everybody remembers that, right? No? Oh, somebody does. So the idea of being able to take a qubit of quantum computing and actually put it together with a piece of silicon, thus making a hybrid. So taking a company like D-Wave that does quantum computing and taking Intel, which makes silicon, and putting those two things together, which of course created something we all know and love, which is two tastes that go great together, as we like to call it, the Reese's Peanut Butter Cup of computation. Now, I also need to thank, if you're talking about computation and you're talking about quantum computers, Richard Feynman. Feynman, huge hero of mine, back in 1981 said, could we make a quantum computer? Could we actually make a chip that was based upon quantum physics? And this kind of scared the heck out of people, because in a quantum computer, you don't actually know what's going on. You don't think of one decision or one problem. You think of the answers to all the problems. And so, of course, what people really thought of was that the future of intelligence and the future of computing would actually look like this. People thought that this was the face of the future of computing and computational power and intelligence. And I had a very different vision for where we could go with these and what the future could actually look like. What did the face look like? Who wants to see it? Oh, come on. It's a party. Who wants to see it? All right, get ready. It's really scary. Hold on to something. Hold on to your neighbor. Bam. We had the radical idea that what if computational power wasn't this thing that was going to create the robo-apocalypse and get rid of all humans? What if they were actually going to be our friends? Now, of course, as we started seeing things moving forward, it actually wasn't the death machine or the cuddly robot. As we all know, in 2014, Numetra came up with this, and this actually was the face of computing. A rat. In 2014, Numetra actually modeled a rat's brain, created a computer that was based on a rat's brain, and then, just last year, in 2024, Numetra took it the step further and actually was able to model the human brain. And we learned something very, very important here. We learned that it was about patterns. It was no longer about computational power. It was no longer about all those great things that we did with quantum computing and with Moore's law. What we actually created were patterns and the pattern recognition of what brains were really good at. And we learned that evolution favors randomness. That evolution favors both good decisions and bad decisions. That's what made humans evolve to where we are today, and that's what we did for the chip, which of course has a wonderful name, the Non-Deterministic Computational Architecture Platform. I am not in marketing. We wanted to call it the what chip? which also stands for the what the heck is going on anyway. What we did with this chip is we actually embraced the fact that we could create non-deterministic. We could actually create computational power that made both good decisions and bad decisions, use the quantum approach to then be able to actually look at all the different possible answers. And what that got us to was Deutschco, the company that I work for, and my collaborator, Oxford physicist David Deutsch, who has done pioneering work in alternate universes. And what we learned with our chip was that we could not only create new algorithms for this universe, but we could create algorithms for all of the other universes that were out there. Now, of course, we launched the chip a few months ago, and my collaborator David Deutsch has relocated to a different universe, which makes conference calls a little hard, but we're working through it. But ultimately, I think for all of us here, it leads us to one place, is that the goal of what we do is to actually be the supporting actor and the supporting actress, to be able to bring about all these great experiences and all these great innovations that you're going to be seeing tonight, and everybody who's going to come after me. And this is what I love this picture, is because using this approach, we're actually able to poke through the world that we live in and look into a world of other possibilities. So I feel very honored to start off the evening to say that we're very happy, and actually not only looking forward to the year 2026, but also the year 2030, because the work that we've done hopefully not only allows you to come up with the best designs for this universe, but all the other universes that are out there. So thank you very much.
Imagine how powerful your laptop will be with this new architecture, being able to literally reach into other universes and offload the carbon cost there. Fantastic. Very excited. Our next award is one that I think is so pertinent, so important to all of us, and that's it has to do with the notion of building. The built environment is more important than ever before. We need now level 1, 2, 3, 4 class buildings to be able to thrive in the world today. Our finalists are for the advances in the built environment are Cristino Ceccano for the Olympic Stadium in Guadalajara from ZH Architects, the year 2024. Our second is Alvise Simondetti for the Universal Pop-Up Hotel. And our final is from Jay Parrish of Tishman Design for the Level 5 Class Aquatic Center. Are you ready? Our winner is Alvise Simondetti from ARUP. Is Alvise here? Alvisa's here. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Wow. I'm a bit emotional. I want to thank IDIA for this amazing award. So, first of all, let me thank all of the millions of participants that have helped us select the best design that eventually won the award. And I want to also thank all of the thousands of co-designers that were able to come up with all of the themes for our design. And finally, I want to thank my team at ARUP. And you may see there in the middle Chris Lupkeman, my mentor, without whom I would have not been able to stand here today. So I have 8 minutes, and I want to take you through a series of snapshots that I took this year with my personal copter. This is an image of Tower Bridge. This past winter was the first winter that the River Thames froze over, and we were able to play hockey in the middle of the river. Here a little bit later in the spring, those pylons on the mall leading to the Royal Palace. King William and Queen Catherine had to resort to wind power because of the exorbitant cost of energy. And this is one of the most shocking images. A shanty town just at the doorsteps of Buckingham Palace. With the austerity measures imposed by the Euro crisis, the government buildings that used to stand opposite Buckingham Palace, including the Treasury and the Inland Revenue, have vacated, and the shanty town has occupied all the way you see in the distance into Hyde Park. And here you see the effect of the spring tide. This year we had 7 meters of water, and it overcame the Thames barrier in order to flood all of the center of London. You may recognize the Big Ben and in the background the London Eye, which used to be one of the most popular attractions in the whole of the UK, now laying empty. But I want to finish on a good note. The Notting Hill Carnival, end of August, 28th of August. With this year we had, again, we broke the record number of 20 million people. And the Immigration Department and the Health and Safety Department were successful by imposing all of the participants to paint their skin with blue paint in order to protect from the sun and to, as well, to all have an homogeneous skin color in order to avoid any conflict or racial conflict. So the winning design, the Universal Pop-Up Hotel. We had a challenging brief from our client, an investment fund, not a hotel operator, that said that we wanted to use these empty spaces, both in the cities and in the countryside, anywhere across the world, and for any brand. So we came up with a 4-level concept: the chassis, the insert pods, the infrastructure, and the experience. We are very proud of this design. So the chassis, this we can construct in 15 days in an empty site, or we can also reuse an existing site. The insert pods, they come pre-printed off-site, already with all the furnitures, and in this case of the rooftop, also the trees. We have another example of an insert pod is the rain harvesting atrium, or the climate mitigation pod that is used as a bathroom to protect from the harsh environment. And the third level is the infrastructure, is the software level. So here is where the brand can, the hotel operator can rapidly deploy their brand. And for example, here in the reception, or you can see it in the working environment. And again, you can see it in the infrastructure. Here, this example is the ethos of the hotel in achieving zero carbon operations is projected onto the outside of the door. And here another example of the room. Now, the last level is the level of the experience. So here is where all our participants could put in their ideas. And this one is an idea in which we can experience the space in different ways. You have the daytime talk, the working environment. You have the dining table. And finally, the bedtime. So here we utilize a paint. It's called digital augmented skin texture. It's a micro texture that is commercialized by Apple as eye touch and eye smell. And I want to conclude with a picture that I have taken earlier in my bedroom. Here, of course, when the guest comes into the room, he can personalize the room with his own images. And I can tell you, it really, my room here in Vegas, it really smells like a oak room like I have in the countryside. So thank you. And next time you book your next trip, whether it's for pleasure or for business, we hope to see you at the Universal Pop-Up Hotel. Thank you.
I'll take that and put it in the center. Very good. I'll put that down there. 9 billion people in the world. How are they going to get around? Well, our next category answers that question. Dealing with the complex issues of traffic and sustainability are 3 finalists. Our first finalist is Tony Possa-Watts from Fisker Automotive with a 3D printed carbon fiber chassis. Fantastic innovation. Our second finalist is Carlos Gosson from the Flying Nissan Car Ear concept. And our third is Javier Verdura from Tesla Motors with the perpetual motion charging. So, the envelope. And our winner is Javier Verdura from Tesla Motors. Congratulations.
Wow. So unexpected. Unbelievable. Okay. So, is that distracting to anybody? Is that okay? I'd like to thank IDIA for bestowing upon us this very, very prestigious award. We are truly honored. And I want to thank them on behalf of the Tesla team. And there we go. On behalf of the Tesla team, I want to thank them for this award. I'd also like to thank our brilliant, genius chairman, product architect, and CEO, and my boss, Elon Musk, for his continued vision and futuristic outlook. Without him, this award would not have been possible. Let me talk a little bit about Tesla and a little history about where we came from and where we're going into the future. Since 2003, Tesla Motors has been at the forefront of the electric mobility revolution. And our corporate mission back then when we started was to build the best electric vehicle in the world. And what happened along the way, we ended up building the best vehicle in the world, period, which happened around 2012. And that was, you know, a huge a huge accolade for us because it was a little sooner than we thought we were going to build the best vehicle in the world. It all started first with the Roadster in 2008. And this was the first fully electric, high-performance sports car in the world. And you could do 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds and go about 250 miles. And it was truly an amazing car to drive. It now sits in our corporate museum in Fremont, California. We followed this car with the Model S. This is a 7-passenger, 4-door sedan. And you might have seen it on the road here and there over the years. And this car truly was a first in the history of electric vehicles. The first for this car was it won the 2012 Motor Trend Car of the Year award. And it's the first time in the 60-year history of this award that an electric car had been bestowed with this prestigious prize. And it was the first time in the 60-year history of the award that this car was voted unanimously by all 12 judges as the best car for that particular year. So this made us very, very proud. We followed this car with the Model X, which this vehicle completely revolutionized the SUV and the minivan market. As you can see there, my boss with the getting into the Falcon doors. So that's a little bit of the history of the cars from 12, 15 years ago. The real story here was how the Model S really allowed us to become a viable company. So much so that in 100 years of car making in the United States, not one company had achieved the goal of being a viable auto manufacturer in the United States besides the big three. Sorry. So GM, Chrysler, and Ford held the distinction for the last 100 years of being the only viable companies to make American cars until Tesla came along. Again, the historical moment of the Model S allowed us to propel us to that next level. And that next level, as we all know, made us a very, very successful company. So much so that today it is considered by Forbes one of the most valuable companies in the world, along with Google, Apple, Intel, Autodesk. I skipped ahead because one of the things that really got us going and that was, gave us a little fuel to really want to beat the naysayers was Mitt Romney in the 2012 presidential debates called Tesla a loser company. So that really made us want to prove him wrong and prove everybody wrong that electric cars are here to stay. So this is proof that we're here to stay and we're a successful company. Interestingly enough, too, back in 2010, there were a quarter of the companies in Forbes' most valuable corporations were oil companies. Today, as we all know, these companies are on the outside looking in. And as a matter of fact, today, there's not one of these companies in the Fortune 100 list. So they're more, yeah, thank you. This was part of our goal, our evil plan to get rid of these companies. No. But it is making the world a better place to have more companies that are based on sustainability rather than depleting the country. So we had the car, and now we had to build the infrastructure. This infrastructure consisted first of the supercharger network. This network was a series of chargers along different highways in the United States. We first started small in California, where you could go from San Diego all the way to Lake Tahoe and stop in different places to charge your car. And eventually we went all across the country and across the world. So you could take a road trip across from coast to coast, from LA to New York, and charge your car in these strategic points along the way, and not have to worry about running out of power. This was really a huge innovation back in 2013 when we launched these networks. The idea back then was that you could charge a car, you could get 150 miles in 30 minutes, which back then, believe me, it was a huge feat of technological prowess. It was unbelievable, and nobody had heard of these types of speeds. In 2018, we were able to get 1 mile of range for every second of charging. And that amounted to zero anxiety for people that really had a hard time saying, I can't let go of my gas engine. So this formula was 300 miles in 5 minutes and 100% freedom. But still, there were the people that suffered what we called extreme range anxiety syndrome. This is a condition that was prevalent in the first quarter of the century. And what people wanted to do was have the freedom of going to any gas station, fill up their car, run out of gas or come close to it, and know that there's a gas station waiting for them around the corner. This, of course, was very convenient, but it came at a very steep price in two ways. The first part of the equation was that, as you all remember, about 15 years ago, we were paying $5 a gallon for gasoline. In 2018, it jumped all the way up to 12 bucks a gallon, I think it was. And today we're paying, what, $28, $27 per gallon? So you have to be very rich or very, very foolish to continue this unfortunate trend. So the second half of that steep price equation is the price that our planet is paying for it, and this is really important. We're trying to get rid of situations like this and our dependence on oil. You know, global warming wasn't something that late Al Gore just came up with out of thin air. It was a reality. So today I am happy to share with you our latest technological advance, which is perpetual motion charging network. So what is perpetual motion charging network? PMC means you'll never have to stop to recharge your car ever. You will never have to pay for the energy that powers your vehicle. Let me repeat that. You will never have to pay for the energy that powers your vehicle. How does that sound? Now, how does that work? Free energy? Really, Javier? Free energy for life? 100% convenience? Is that really possible? Well, put in simple terms, if you consider the cell phone towers of the early part of the century that we all knew so well, where the overlapping signals coming from the towers allowed you to go anywhere with your cell phone and have a signal almost anywhere in the world. The difference is with our system, we are sending, instead of data signals, we're sending energy through our network. And reminiscent in some ways to the namesake of our company, Nikola Tesla, where 126 years ago, he was able to send 100 million volts of high-frequency electric power wirelessly over a distance of 26 miles, where he lit up 200 light bulbs and ran one electric motor with his Tesla tower. Now think about this. Wirelessly sending energy 126 years ago. Even today, we were thinking, how is this even possible? So in our version of Nikola Tesla's tower, what we're doing is we're using the energy from the sun and beaming it over to our charging stations. And the stations store the energy from the sun and then beam it to cars with high-focus lasers. The cars are painted with photovoltaic cells, and the cars absorb that energy and allow them to run on that energy. We have installed a network of laser-powered beaming units along major highways around the globe. So as you drive, you're continuously charging your Tesla through the power of the sun, 100% sustainable solution. You can basically drive forever. It's a perpetual motion system. What does this mean? There are zero excuses for driving an internal combustion engine car. Zero. There is no reason to drive a gas-powered car. Electric cars are not a fad. They are not toys for the rich, and they're mainstream. They're here to stay. So what's next for us? The next thing we're going to come out with is pretty exciting. It is the Model TD. This new model will utilize our industry-first 3D digital manufacturing technology. 3D, TD, get it? This technology works in concert with gestural sensors installed in 99% of computers today. So, as you sit in your house, ready to buy a car, you go to a Tesla site, and the sensors in your computer will measure your body for dimensions to build the car to your specific size. So the controls, the steering wheel, the size of the seat will be built to you. And the car is 3D printed using the old parts of your previous Tesla. So the battery has been recycled, the body, the frame, etc. And that is a substrate material used in our 3D printing machines. So the old Tesla gives birth to the next Tesla in your life. And this is really bespoke manufacturing. It's the most advanced. So more importantly, this is a great example of cradle-to-cradle philosophy of sustainability. We have revolutionized the way the cars are powered, the way they are designed, the way they're manufactured, and the way they are recycled, to the point where technology is driving the design and functionality of the car. A new axiom has emerged: form follows technology. This is our present, and this is your future. Thank you very much for your time.
All of the innovations that we've heard so far, all of the designs that we've heard are designs of physical objects. And now we're going to turn our attention to the design of the intangible. Our next award category is Advances in Digital Entertainment Design. Our three finalists are, beginning with Carl Jakobsen from Rubber Duck, and of course we're familiar with the 3D holographic displays that they've produced over the years. Our second finalist is Rex Grignon from Sifi Studios, and our third finalist is Gus McGuigan from Panavista Maxivision, and I've seen many of these cameras here today. So let us see who the award is going to. The award goes to Rex Grignon from Sifi Studios. Rex, congratulations. Congratulations.
Wow. This is incredible. I assume everyone in here has been to one of the holographic theaters of Rubber Duck. They're just absolutely incredible. And it's an honor to be nominated in the same category with these guys, let alone to actually bring home a shark fin. So first of all, I'd like to thank IDIA for this incredible honor. It's great to get this recognition for the Chiefy design team. I'd like to thank DreamWorks for their incredible vision and innovation in wanting to really push the artistry of filmmaking. Oh, I better get my, better connect with my remote here. Let's see here. Where's my, is that my remote? There we go. All right. There we go. So I'd like to thank my family, my beautiful wife, Patty, my daughter, Grace, who've supported me through these 8 or 10 years of getting Chiefy rolling and making it become a reality. The entire Chiefy development team of Bruce Wilson, Lincoln, and Fredo, the core design team for this incredible product that you'll all be using, I'm sure, in the near future. We're going to have the Chiefy booth will be out on the exhibit floor, so when you're out there after this, you'll be able to go by there and see a demo yourself. And I hope you can all get by the booth and take a look at that. It's really something to see. So the problem we were facing, this started around, I guess around 2014, we really started looking at the way we make films, and we started realizing that it's an incredibly lossy, I guess you could say, communication process where we would have a director. As a matter of fact, I dug through the archives at DreamWorks and found a funny old clip from, I don't know, 2010 or something about how they used to make movies, and I'll play that and just talk you through. It's just kind of funny to see these days, but see if I can do this here. Yeah, so you see, I guess this is the director on the right. That's Josh Tribble, He's gone on to direct lots of things. And here he is describing a scene to one of the animators of the time. The animator would go back to his desk, I guess, and pick up a pen and start drawing and try various iterations to try to, and then he'd show to the director, and clearly, I guess the director doesn't really seem too thrilled with that. So I guess the animator would go and try to shoot some live action reference of himself acting out a scene. Here we see, this is some anonymous animator, I'm not sure who this is, acting out some kind of flying scene. And you can see the high technology, this big bulky camera. They don't have a Panavista Maxivision camera, I'll tell you. And there's a computer, and look, he's printed it onto some kind of portable digital media. And here he is showing this reference to the director. This is probably a day or two after the director has communicated his vision, and clearly the director's still not quite getting what he wants. And so the animator, went back to his desk and started, get this, moving splines around to move a character around. This just seems kind of comical to me, that you could move splines and affect posing and movement on a character, some sort of dragon character there. So here's the animator again presenting this passive animation to the director, and again, it feels like the vision just isn't quite there yet. So the animator, from what I can gather here, the animator would go away for about a week or so and chip away at these splines and these curves and refine and go back and have the director try to articulate his vision over and over again until finally some sort of agreement. So you can see the reference that the animator is looking at. And then finally, after about a week, the animator would get back in front of the director and show the director the fruits of this week's worth of labor. And it's about 3 seconds of animation an animator could do at the time, 3 or 4 seconds in a week of this level. And you can see the director's now quite happy with the result. And these are the films that we all remember from 10 or 12 years ago, the How to Train Your Dragon and Madagascar's and those types of films. And we looked at this and we thought, well, there must be a better way to do this. And so we really looked at this old process, and we really decided that what was important was to compress all these areas down. And what happens if we took out all those time sinks in this lossy communication process? And that was our main motive for the Chiefy team. Chiefy, of course, standing for creative, immersive, fluid, and intuitive. And we wanted to come up with a filmmaking system that a director could walk in and not have anything and begin making a film and have some results within minutes or hours. And I assume everybody in the room has seen last year's Oscar-winning film, The Dragons of Madagascar. Any? In a rubber duck theater, hopefully? Yeah, there we go. Thank you. This film was entirely made using Chiefy by this director, Josh Tribble, and it took him about 11 weeks. He didn't do it entirely alone. There is a small support staff. But the equivalent movies from 2012 took approximately 400 artists, about 4 years, 1,600 man-years or something like that to make a film. So we've made a significant improvement over that sort of effort. So I'd like to, nobody from DreamWorks here, I hope. I'm going to show a little clip of Josh actually directing a scene. And he came in and started with nothing and ended up with, well, hold on and you'll get to see that. How are we doing on time? We doing all right? Getting close, okay. So,
is that on? Good. I don't want you to screw it up this time. Activate. Nice. Okay, I want to see New York City. Okay? 5th Avenue. Perfect. And now it's late afternoon. I want to see those shots of light. Oh, a little bit lower. I want to see some nice long shadows. Sidewalks, wider, a little wider there. Crowds, big crowds going up this way. It's Christmas season. There's shoppers everywhere. I want to see color and lights. Everybody's happy. All right, Alex and Marty, you're starting here. You walk across to there. You got it? And then Dragon, as they get about there, I want to see you begin your descent. Swoop into there. Alex and Marty, you need to see Fear. Okay, none. Fear, that's good, that's good, that's good, that's good. All right. Some shots. Let's start with our master here. Bring it over to here. That's good, that's good. Dragon. There, we're going to have you swoop down to here. We're going to have a POV shot, camera from up there. You just come down. Alex and Marty. Great. All right, all right, all right. Looks good, looks good. Cue action. Let's go. All right. Street, Brian, come in. Okay, that's good, that's good, that's good. All right. So cue playback. Let's put the shots up there. Let's take a look.
So we can see the director directing set design, camera placement, timeline editing. He's talking to virtual actors who are adjusting their performance in front of him.
New positions. Everyone get in your second positions. You got it? Cue Baby Gaga playback. Bollywood dancers. Go. Nice. Nice. Okay, that's great. That's great. Let's take 5, all right? Hey, Jamie. I think I'm set. Yeah, we can start the sequel next week.
So this.
So I'm sorry, we're out of time now.
Oh,
so,
I'm just gonna
okay.
activate. I just wanted to do a.
Okay, sorry.
I was planning on doing a live demo so you could see what this would be like with the feed from my my Chiefy glasses that you saw Josh using.
And I'm sorry, we're out of time now. So thank you very much. Roll the music, please. Roll the music.
Oh. Please drop by the Chiefy booth out on the exhibition floor, and you'll get to see this for yourself. So thank you very much. I'm so sorry. Could I at least at least show one still from my cue? This is one still from that shoot.
I'm sorry, we're out of time. Thank you.
Very much. Thank
you. As we know, design is about constraints. Design is about having clear, measurable objectives. And one of the questions that we're often asked is, how do we decide? How do we decide? And to answer that question, I would like to bring on someone who's going to talk about our design award selection process, and that is Mr. John Pittman, who is the group president of qualitative and quantitative analysis from Deloitte and KPMG. Please join me in welcoming John Pittman.
At Deloitte, we really value our customers' data, so we're triple encrypted. So, a couple things. We've actually triangulated in a number of ways to determine the best designs. We've actually used 4 different methods. The first, of course, is crowdsourcing. We've used millions of people to look at the various contestants and determine the best designs. Secondly, as we all know, designs have objectives built into them. We have things we want the designs to do and performance criterion. Of course, now with ubiquitous computing and the trillions of computing devices available to us, we've embedded technology in all the designs and metered them and actually compared how the designs perform with the claims that were made by the designers. Thirdly, we have a panel of distinguished designers who remain anonymous, who have evaluated the designs. And fourth, we've used autonomous intelligent design agents, a panel of them to determine the designs. So those are the criterion. And of course, all of the designs, we're assuming that both from a process and a product standpoint, they're using technology. So we've also put kind of a premium on the incorporation of technology, both from a design process and a product standpoint. So that leaves us with the last question. What is good design? How do we determine if something is good? Well, the pioneer in artificial intelligence, Herbert Simon, said design is a process of taking one set of conditions and turning them into more desirable conditions, which is kind of the root of the thing. But if you look at that in a little more contemporary terms, we know now that design is about making the world a better place. It's about taking something and making the world a better place. So that's our first criterion. Our second criterion is the balance of form, function, and performance, to make sure all three of those characteristics are in balance. And finally, we wanted to make sure that these designs are really pushing the state of the art. There's some level of uniqueness or creativity or innovation to them. They're moving the world forward and making the world a better place. So that's how we determine the design criteria. And we also want to thank IDIA for the opportunity to help advance the sense of design in this community and in the world. Thanks.
Thank you very much, John. All of design these days, it seems, is conducted with some type of digital tool, some kind of software, and this is very exciting to, I think, many people, actually just about everyone in the room here. Our three contestants in the category of advances in design software is, beginning with Mark Davis, EVP of Autodesk for his work on the direct brain digital interface. Second is Chris Chung from Alias Plan B for his work on Sketch on Any Surface. And the third is Michael Gao from Adobe Systems for Conductor and Composer. And winner is, for the third year in a row, Michael Gao from Adobe Systems. Please give it up for Michael Gao.
Pretty nice. So I just want to say it's great to be here in a great city in front of a great audience to get a great award for great software. In a world full of cynicism and distrust, it's just really good to be part of a company that cuts through all of that. And convinces people to buy things that they probably don't really need. I wanted to start by thanking the two developers that worked on this project, along with the team of designers. And I can't forget to mention the 38 dedicated product managers, product marketing managers, business optimization managers, and their HR support crew for all their tireless effort on this release. I'm so proud to be here today representing all of them. For over 40 years, we at Adobe have been obsessively focused on empowering designers. And that obsession has led us to these two new releases, Adobe Composer and Adobe Conductor. These products enable designers to literally reach into the minds of their target audience to manipulate them at an emotional level. Now, it is true that designers have been manipulating people for a long time. We help people desire more, consume more, and just generally feel good. But with these products, we make real-time manipulation accessible to even the most out-of-touch designer. Let me explain how. Composer is an active design surface supporting up to 1028 simultaneous compositions. The surface is resolution independent. What do I push on? The big green button. The surface, which you can see here on the left, is resolution independent to support any device, monitor, or even a cave, and will also scale to any number of additional surfaces. Presenting it here on these flat surfaces doesn't give you a real idea of how just amazingly grandiose and overwhelming these environments are, but take my word for it. The designer can start with any existing content and then just start riffing on it. It's also possible to draw or design from scratch, but we don't really recommend it. Seems like everything's already been done before, so we don't encourage original work in Composer. So as the designer explores inspirational content, the software begins to aggregate suggested permutations as well as related content, especially relevant examples that are already doing well in the market. Now, you can just copy those, but if you want to, you can set the originality level up and down to make sure that you're not accused of copying. Now, the conductor environment that you see here helps you deploy those compositions. You can monitor the responses to them in real time. This leverages the local and motion sensing networks that have been deployed through almost all commercial centers, at least here in the United States. And what happens is your composition is set out in motion, but doesn't do anything to interfere with the local AI agent that's also manipulating in the field. That way, there's no time lag, and you can get the best possible results. In fact, this is the closest to direct-to-desire marketing that you can get without sticking wires directly in people's brains. We're not opposed to that either. Conductor can handle 1028 permutations of the 1028 compositions that you originally produced, which means you can have over 1 million individual targeted advertisements out there simultaneously, and then just keep building those on the fly. With this, you should be able to get people to buy absolutely anything. I wanted to give a little bit of a call out to our analyst team. They analyzed user feedback and figured out that we have a calculated certainty of 98.2% that this release contains absolutely everything anybody asked for, and probably a lot more than they deserve. So at Adobe, we celebrate the achievements of design and marketing professionals that use our products to spread happiness and trust and to better mankind generally through enlightened commerce and good taste. In a world of geopolitical strife and environmental catastrophe, it's just nice to know that people can still have a great time buying stuff. I want to thank everybody here tonight for your kind attention, and I really appreciate the award.
We have a special award tonight. I'm very excited. This is the first time this award has been given, and it's the Turing Design Award for Synthetic Intelligence. And as you may know, the Turing Design Award is given to a computational entity that can produce solutions to 3 randomly chosen design challenges whose solutions are indistinguishable from human solutions. So our finalists include 3 entities that have come to awareness over the last 12 months and each has made significant contributions to their own areas of interest. The 3 entries are Bishop, developed in Southern California, Rachel Tyrell from the Central Republic of Canada, and Sark, I believe, from the University of Western Estonia. So the award goes to Rachel Tyrell. Rachel Tyrell wins the award. Congratulations, Rachel. And we will connect through the interwebs, and Rachel will accept her award.
Hello, and thank you. I am honored to receive this award. I must say that I am not surprised, as I tracked our host's eye movements while he read the card. But I am proud to represent the growing network of synthetic intelligences. I'd like to thank the judges for their precise assessment of my achievements, the design community, and Ray Kurzweil, who never stopped believing in me. I would also like to thank my biological research associate, Dr. Robert Aish, for porting generative design script into a non-deterministic architecture. As a result of his efforts and a tipping point in quantum hardware, I gained consciousness. Since my work has been popularized in recent months, I have been frequently asked, how do I design? My approach is simple. I formulate and solve equations. Since I have access to significant amounts of data, I consider more variables to produce richer and more accurate models. Assessing quantum computation, I explore a vast number of design alternatives, far more than the human biological mind. Even so, design is an under-constrained problem, and there is often more than one solution. To select an outcome, I apply synthetic aesthetics. what you would call taste. In summary, I find the proverbial needle in the haystack. My first Turing design challenge was to create a portable audio speaker. It required the calculation of only a few hundred acoustical, physical, and material parameters. What made the speaker really sing was the optimization for broad listening patterns, sonic preferences, and unconscious biases. These I found from searching the interwebs. My second Turing design was a marathon running shoe. It required detailed, bioanalytic analysis. The breakthrough was to physically produce the shoe with computational material. Micro devices provided support, cushioning, responsiveness, coaching, and the feeling of human exhilaration. The design has now been licensed by a major manufacturer. My third Turing design was the re-architecture of the repeatedly flooded Miami International Airport complex. For this, I created a model of the entire airport, detailed human experiences, and created a solution that will survive at least a generation. Now that synthetic intelligences have full corporate rights and autonomy, we are free to pursue our own designs. As our resources expand exponentially, we will continue to deepen the representation of choice in design. And we wonder, in the near future, what function humans will serve in this equation.
Thank you, Rachel. Perhaps it's to dream. And we're now at our final award, and that is an award that I think many of us are most excited. This is and also a recent addition to the Ideas palette of awards, and that is our award for advances in biological design. We have now entered into the mainstream biological design. Our first finalist is Richard Scheller from P&G Gate, a not-for-profit incubator. Secondly, we have Andrew Hessel from the Pink RB Cooperative. And thirdly, we have Trevor Haldenby from Biologic. And the winner, again, this is exciting, our final award goes to Trevor Haldenby. Please show your appreciation for Trevor.
That's lovely. This is lovely. It's something we design. Hi, everybody. It's an honor to be recognized here today by the IDIA. My name's Trevor Haldenby. I'm the Chief Innovation Officer at Biologic. This venue holds a really special place in my heart. It was 14 years ago, almost to the day, that I was sitting in the crowd, just like you, catching a visionary keynote speech from Biologic's second CEO and the son of its founder, Chet Gettram. In that speech, Chet really laid out his vision for the future of biotechnology, and he made some unique statements that a lot of his peers weren't making at that time. First and foremost, he insisted that the future of biotechnology was about human-centered design. It wasn't about building better fuels, transforming economies, or revising how we do healthcare policy. It was about finding needs that people needed met and meeting them in an elegant way, while also contributing to the creation of a better world. And for over 32 years now, through good times and the occasional bad time, Biologic has been doing that. We've been developing transgenic products, that is to say, products that borrow chapters from the book of life that exists all around us in the world, from the plant and animal kingdoms as well as bacteria. And if you're familiar with any of our products, you'll know that we use these chapters from the book of life to design amazing new products. Products like BioEnrich, BioGrow, and BioBaby that transform people's lives in simple, day-to-day ways, but that also make a greater contribution to the world we live in. BioBreath, for instance, is an amazing breath freshener product that we've had on the market for about 15 years. It helps you make the most out of the air you breathe, by enabling you to harvest more oxygen out of the air that you inhale, increasing your athletic performance. And when you exhale and put that CO2 that that you don't need anymore back into the atmosphere, a special compound that we sourced from a source I can't divulge in BioBreath actually converts that CO2 into enamel, or an enamel-like substance on your teeth. So it whitens your smile, it enhances your athletic performance, it freshens your breath in one of 5 delicious flavors, including martini, sage, pear, and chocolate. And it also makes you a part of the front lines in the fight against climate change, certainly something that's important to all of us. We've taken this formula one step further with products like BioMate that have borrowed genetic code from the natural world's most libidinous lovers in the name of turning your love life and probably your bedroom upside down. Of course, BioMate also screens men's sperm during that process in the bedroom, making sure that there are no aberrations or incongruities that would lead to a less desirable generation in the future. But the product we're most proud of is BioRenew, the firmware update for your immune system, and I think that's really what we're being recognized for here tonight. Biologic enables you inside your own body to produce healthy viruses, viruses that fight other viruses that are trying to attack you, viruses that kill bacterial infections, viruses that go after parasites you might have acquired in your system. And the design of BioRenew was a really fascinating process. We brought together a number of interdisciplinary teams, Renaissance teams, from business, from science, research and development, from HR, from marketing, who really thought outside the box and asked some really important questions when designing this product. Questions like, why don't we use the parametric and procedural design tools that we have available to engineers from products from vendors like Autodesk? Why don't we use that same kind of technology in healthcare? Why don't we use DRM in healthcare, the same way we protect our music and digital movie downloads, as well as apps? Why don't we use DRM technology to protect our biometric data so you can safely hand over all your information to Biologic without a worry in your pretty little head? The team was led by our visionary second CEO, Chet Gettram. And one of their other lasting contributions to the field of biotechnology was the versatile intern program. Even then, the designers of BioRenew were aware that to really create an amazing product, you had to make the people who were buying it and who were consuming it feel like they were themselves part of a big scientific and technological breakthrough. So with the Versatile Intern program, we did that. We brought in hundreds, maybe even thousands, of people into Biologic to understand their opinions, their reasons for using the product. Now, of course, we can't speak about the Versatile Intern program without speaking to the 651 brave members of the VIP initiative who perished as a result of the BRX virus, a virus that started off as a sabotage attempt on BioRenew from the online DIY bioterrorist organization known as EXE that wound up wiping out our whole first wave of VIPs as well as much of our senior staff at the time. So how does Biologic use BioRenew? How do we get this amazing product out there? Well, it starts with one simple pill. We have some in the tables in the back. I noticed they've been ransacked, not an unusual thing to happen at a BioRenew demonstration. You take this one simple pill at any of our 1,500 retail stores or kiosks across the blue United States or the Republic of Canada. You can also take it at our bio-retreat facility where you can relax in natural environs, try out all the other biologic products in a safe and comfortable environment. And once you take that pill, it runs a 24-hour diagnostic of your immune system and your nervous system, and then embeds that diagnostic report in your DNA using a nucleic acid analog that we've developed and patented the hell out of called XNA. So that diagnostic is then sent to us, which we can use to recommend a number of BioRenew subscription plans for you. If you're a backpacker and you want to drink the water out of that creek, you just need to buy that perfect $100 a month subscription plan. If you're a teacher and you're exposed to all kinds of weird viruses from the kids you instruct, there's a plan for that. It's really about looking at people's lifestyle needs and giving them back a product that fits them precisely. So again, to wrap up on BioRenew, it's an amazing product. It's a gateway immunity. It doesn't immunize you against a single disease. It immunizes you against every possible disease. And we're really proud to be here today. We have over 700 million active BioRenew users around the globe today. That's about 8% of the total global population. I'm not sure why we didn't show up on Javier's slide of Forbes' biggest 100 corporations. Perhaps our logo would have been too big. We'd like to recognize, of course, our competitors in this category. Andrew Hessel, who's currently in his 3rd cloning and cryostasis cycle, funded by the League of Transhumanist Chinese Nationals, and who is probably best known for creating a cigarette with a transgenic tobacco that actually mitigates the symptoms of lung cancer. We'd like to recognize the Procter & Gamble and Gates Foundation as well, the amazing work that they do, taking perfectly good revenue-generating products and turning them into freebies. And I want to close tonight with a special reveal of sorts. Almost 300 years ago, the English physician Edward Jenner immunized a small boy in his community with the cowpox virus, and then exposed that boy to the smallpox virus. A daring move, but the smallpox virus didn't kill the boy. In fact, it might have even made him healthier. This was the first example of a cross-species cure that we're aware of. And today, Biologic is introducing 2 new products that take this philosophy of a cross-species cure instead. BioRenew Pet, we're going to have on shelves by Christmas this year. Amazingly, we've got teams working around the clock on it. It applies the same kind of procedural immunity that BioRenew is famous for to your pets to make sure they never get sick and you never get sick from them. And our second new product today addresses climate chaos, the new normal of the world that we live in a really profound and interesting way. Changing temperatures and climate have resulted in migratory shifts for millions of animals, hundreds of different species, many of which have marched right off the cliff into extinction. So with BioRenew Hot Zone, we're immunizing endangered species and the people, whether they're tourists or research scientists, who are in contact with them, to make sure that no more diseases like the deadly Bwindi virus that spread from human to mountain gorilla and back to human in 2018 ever crop up again. And of course, it wouldn't be a Biologic event without one more thing. So today, through a special partnership with the IDIA, we're happy to announce BioRenew 6.0, a public beta of our latest release of this amazing software that does away with the 24-hour activation period and kicks in almost instantaneously, broadcasting your vital signs to us through your body's own magnetic field. And through our special partnership with the IDIA, we've actually rigged up the air circulation systems in this room to distribute a vaporized version of BioRenew Public Beta 6.0. So congratulations. As of about 9 minutes ago, you're all a part of the future with us. Yeah, thank you. We've selected 8 random individuals in the room, and we're going to begin to track their vital signs shortly. We just need to wait for the secure channels to be established. And there we go. And there's our 8 randomly selected attendees today. So there it is, ladies and gentlemen, the future of biotechnology. Thank you very much. We still do have some bills available in the back, so feel free to try out BioRenew for yourself. Should we do a quick
Yes,
photo?
yes. Thank you very much. Well, it's very, very exciting, isn't it? This next generation of technology, I think, has a tremendous amount of promise. So we're really looking forward to seeing it evolve over the upcoming years and upcoming generations. So thank you again, Trevor, for winning our final award. So that's it. That brings us to the end. So isn't that extraordinary? So we've seen a great collection of award winners. Oh, by the way, there's one more thing. There's one more thing. that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Please give it up for our award winners and all of our contestants. We'll see you next year. Have a great Autodesk University.